Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams. And welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. Spirit says it's coming in at just the right time. There's something that you're manifesting, and it is something that is aligned with you and for you on your path. And it's coming in at just the right time. Divine wants you to trust that the timing is right. Okay? So we'll see what else comes through. Thank you, Divine. I love divine timing. And it feels good when you experience it because it lets you know that it truly is a thing. Divine knows when it's right for you to receive something, or when you need something. You'll have exactly what you need. Thank you, Divine. Experiencing the reality of change. Yeah, something is about to change. And the timing is aligned. This is card 39, which 3 and 9 is 12. So that's Hanged Man energy. That is a result of a change. It's enlightenment. It's the realization of something. I'm hearing that the timing is going to be just right because the change has happened inside you first. Whatever it was that you needed to do for yourself, whatever area it was in which you needed to grow, you set that intention and you stood by it. You have been faithful to your soul and to the calling that is on your life. And so because you've made those changes, 222 on the timer, because you've made those changes in such a beautiful, divine, dedicated way, there's something that's just gonna, I'm seeing, like, you know how a feather, like in Forrest Gump, the feather would fall. I know, so pretty. But I see a feather just falling gracefully. And right when it hits the ground is when it brings, it's like this energy of peace that comes in. This is also ancestral because I'm seeing a white feather. So you have ancestral beings that are seeing to it that this manifestation happens when it's supposed to happen and in the way that it's supposed to happen. Okay. Let's go here. Thank you, Divine. What's coming through for this beautiful being? It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Yes, it is. It's going to be a bright, lovely, sunshiny day. Your gentle nature is precious. And you know, one thing that's so beautiful is that you haven't lost that. Because I do feel that you have been through battle. You choose your battles wisely. You don't fight just to fight. But when there's something that you need to stand up for, you do speak up and you do stand up. I'm hearing, get up, stand up for your right. Okay, so you stand up when you need to. Firmly. I'm hearing you're not weak at all. You are definitely strong. But if you fight, it's for good reason. It's because there's already been someone who declared themselves as your opponent. And you needed to protect yourself or protect something that you nurture or create, or someone that you love. Okay? But you, even having gone through all of that, you have maintained this gentle nature. And it's so sweet. It feels like ripe fruit is what your energy feels like. Like in the summertime, just lovely, ripe, sweet fruit. That's what your energy feels like. Or a gentle breeze when it's really hot and you're just like, oh, you're so glad to get just a few seconds of wind on your face. That's what you feel like. So you feel like relief amidst the toxic energy of this world. You feel like rest. You feel like a jump in the lake on a really hot day. You feel so refreshing. And there are beings around you who do not understand how you have been able to maintain this sweet nature. And the thing about it is, it's not fake, you know? It's not fake. It's not corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup. It's honey. It's raw honey. Okay? That's your energy. It's so divinely sweet. And it's because there's something that you've been protecting. Yeah. Pulling away to control or manipulate. So there's somebody who was in your energy, but they pulled away because they wanted you to come chase them. I'm seeing somebody like, okay, you know, like when you're playing as a kid and you run away and hide, and then you watch the person to see if they're gonna come chase you. If they, you know, you're like watching the person look for you. That's what this person or these people wanted to do. Feels like a ringleader energy, okay? But they tried to create a connection with you, and then they distanced themselves, but they were obsessed with you. They wanted you to think that they were off living their life. I don't know, something about Paris. That'll resonate with somebody. Or Jamaica. Okay, somebody went to a really beautiful place. And they were supposedly living the life. They may have faked going on a vacation or something like this to try to taunt you. You know, I'm getting like fake book games or something like that. Yeah, I call it fake book. Because there's somebody here who was posting just to taunt, with the hopes of taunting you. They wanted to make it look like they have a delicious life. But look, you are that ripe fruit. You're naturally delicious. Naturally sweet. But they couldn't handle it because they realized in experiencing the authenticity of your sweetness, they realized that they are the high fructose corn syrup. They realized that they are the refined sugar. Domino, isn't that like a brand of sugar? Domino. So Domino's could be significant, or somebody could have a pet named Domino. Something about dancing, because I'm thinking Fats Domino. That's way back then. Way back. A long time ago. Okay, yeah, but somebody was pulling away to control or manipulate. When they pulled away, they weren't doing anything lovely or authentic or wonderful. They were just hiding, hoping that you would come find them, because you were just wanting to chase them. But I'm getting that you didn't do that. You didn't chase them. There could have been a couple go rounds where you were like worried because you wanted to make sure that this person was okay, or maybe you thought that there was something worthwhile in saving or preserving. But you caught on real quickly because you are empathic and you do have psychic abilities. You have intuitive gifts. oh, it's the sensitive nature that you have, and it's so, whoo, it's so beautiful. And this message is coming through. Be careful with labels, how you label yourself or allow yourself to be labeled, because there are certain gifts that you have that, you know, like in the medical field or something like that, they might call it something else. Like what's coming to mind is like social anxiety. Well, social anxiety, you know what that really is for a lot of people? It's their empathic gifts. And when they get around people, they feel their effed up energy. And so that social anxiety is spirit saying, redirect. Don't go over there, because that's the trouble. Okay? You can go over there, over there, but not over there. It's your gifts. Okay? That's a message for somebody. That's a message for somebody. So I'm not refuting anything that your medical healthcare professional has told you, if they've told you something, but what I am saying is that there are some people who are more along the lines of medical science and not the spirituality that runs alongside it, okay? So while they want to label you as something that seems like, oh, there's something wrong, it's actually just about understanding the energy behind it, okay? So just, that's a message for somebody. Tune in, there's more to the story. Okay, well, let's see what this more to the story is. We might get back to those, but I'm going to pull some of these to see what's coming through. What's this more to the story, Spirit? Oh, well, Spirit's like here. Okay. There's somebody here who is willing to sell their soul, basically. And I'm not knocking anybody who does sex work. I'm not knocking anybody that chooses to do that. This is not actually about sex work here. Okay, that could be relevant to someone, or some people, but this is more about, you know, a person can work in corporate, I was about to say corporate America, but it could be anywhere. But in the corporate world and have this energy where they're selling their soul. A person could work for a Fortune 500 company and be in this frequency where they are selling their soul, okay? So there's something here about someone who is willing to sell their soul, and they wanted you to do that too. Okay, somebody wanted you to sell your soul. They wanted you to be willing to work all day long, doing something that you despise. It could have been something that you didn't despise, but they, you know, it's like the environment that you were in kind of made you hate this job or this career. So there was something about it that a person, this could have been someone that you were in a relationship with, wanted you to do that was not meant for you to do in that way. You were not supposed to work yourself. I'm hearing into a tizzy. So they could have wanted you to work to make money in a way that was not good for your well-being or for your mental well-being. I'm really getting that. This could have been a very stress-inducing situation. Okay? We've got teacher and saboteur. So there's somebody here who is acting like they were a guide to you. They wanted to make you think that they had some lessons to share with you about life, or that they were going to lead you down a wonderful path. And all the while they were sabotaging you, They were trying to sabotage you. Because this is somebody who wanted to work you to the bone. Now for some of you, you could have been a teacher, okay? And maybe that's something that you didn't want to do, or you didn't want to do it in the environment that you were in, or maybe you were working too much, okay? But I'm really seeing this in someone around you. They wanted to adopt this sort of personality, this role, that they were the teacher and you were the student, and they were going to lead you to the light and to the truth. And really they were just sabotaging you, because Spirit is saying that you knew a whole lot more than they did. And you still do. And you always will. Because you're willing to teach yourself. If there's something that you don't know, you research it. You're willing to listen. Whoever this is, this saboteur, there's someone who's more concerned about getting over on people and seducing people and manipulating people. They're so focused on that they never learn anything. Even when they fail trying to manipulate somebody, they never learn from those cycles. So they remain in the same old stuck cycle. Okay, it's funny because when I looked at this, I saw script. And I said, you got tired of the same script over and over again. It's kind of like the same script was being repeated between you and this person over and over again. But with scribe, it's about preserving knowledge and information. And it's like you were taking notes. Also, you know, it was coming to me earlier in meditation today that there's somebody that you were around that showed you who you didn't want to become. And sometimes that's the lesson. 1616 on the top, on the timer. I was about to say on the tower, because you know card 16 is the tower. But there's somebody around you who was trying to act like they knew the way, but they wanted to work you to the bone. That's what I keep hearing. This is somebody who wanted you to do all the work. You know, it could have been that if this is a person you were in a relationship with, maybe you were earning the money, you were taking care of the kids, you were cleaning, you were doing the cooking, you were doing it all. And so you felt like, well, you're just a roommate that doesn't even pay. What's the point? You know, this also could have been someone around you. It could have been someone in a friendship that you realized was more vampiric than anything else. There was no reciprocity. You were giving everything and not getting anything in return. For some of you, this was a boss situation, okay? Where you had a very cruel boss who was trying to work you to the bone. They saw that you were so talented. And so instead of getting everyone else, whoever else was in that work environment, to pull their weight, they just put more responsibility on you. And you said, absolutely not. But whatever type of relationship this is, you got tired of repeating the same script over and over again. And you said, absolutely not. I was about to say, actually not. So you created a new reality for yourself. And that's why it's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. A part of this could be that, you know, there was somebody who thought they were going to take advantage of you and sabotage you because your gentle nature is so precious. And that's what they were abusing, was your gentle nature. I'm hearing, but you toughened up wherever it was that you needed to. You learned from these other beings around you and their towers. You learned, you let them experience their towers that they manifested for themselves and trying to sabotage everyone else. And you said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to become a tyrant. You chose not to allow this beautiful, gentle nature of yours that's so precious. You didn't allow it to become hardened. You didn't become a vampire like the same people who wanted to suck your blood. Okay? You chose to take a different path. You wrote your own script. So there could be something now that you're doing for yourself. You're forging a new path. Yeah, and you're choosing not to be a victim. But there is something beautiful about recognizing how you've been treated. Because that's a part of your wisdom, is that you have observed what was done to you. You have observed the nature of these saboteurs and these vampires. And in observing them, you know exactly what you're not going to allow to happen to yourself. Also acknowledging what they did to you, there's healing that comes in that. And there's something about a story. a story that you're embracing and doing something with. You're doing something with it. You become much more empowered by it, recognizing what you've been through. Okay, I'm gonna go on to the tarot. Yeah, there's something you're planning or you've been planning with the Two of Wands. And whatever this is, it's going to be very successful, beautiful being. What's coming through for this divine being spirit? Yeah, you know which walls to put up in order to protect yourself. Because we've got over here Death and the Wheel of Fortune. So somebody wanted to bring an end to your fortune. They wanted to stop something for you, but you know what? You flipped that around. And what you did is you stopped the cycle of abuse. That's what you did. See that? You can see it two ways. Where somebody was trying to bring an end to your luck. They wanted to bring death to your Wheel of Fortune. But you said, no, we're going to stop this cycle of abuse and harm. And that's why you put your wall up. There's something that you are consciously protecting. This involved someone walking away. So, oh, and it was on the fence. So that's that pulling away in order to manipulate. There's somebody who walked away who wishes they could. I'm hearing, if I could turn back time. And you know what the crazy thing is? If they could turn back time, all they would do is repeat the same stupidity. They would just do the same stupid stuff that they did in the past because they haven't healed anything. Because they don't learn from their mistakes. They just repeat them. But there's somebody who walked away and they regret that now. That's why this was, it wanted to come out in the reverse. It was on the side. They reflect on the day that they left. For some of you, it was the nighttime. They may have left in the middle of the night. And every day since then has felt like a storm. But it's a storm that never ends. You know, a storm can be, I love stormy weather. Like, I love it. I love when a storm comes. I love the lightning. I love the thunder. It cleanses the air. It's so wonderful. And I love going to sleep with the rain, you know. But a storm is beautiful in nature because it does end. And so when it ends, oh, and don't let there be a rainbow afterwards. I mean, you know, that's pure magic. But see, this person never gets that. They never get that end of the storm, that calm that comes at the end of the storm, where everything then feels cool and refreshed and cleansed. No, it just keeps on with the thunder and the lightning and the harsh rain and the hail. I'm getting hail. There could be a water sign here, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Doesn't have to be. But I'm getting that with all this, or air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm getting that with the weather. Okay? Yeah. The wind and the rain just keeps going. I'm hearing that for them it sounds like the wind just keeps howling and howling and howling. And they never get any peace. Because they know what they did to create that storm. And they can't get back in because your protection is guaranteed. Your protection is guaranteed because your actions back up your words. And your spirits back you up. I'm hearing you say what you mean and you mean what you say. And they know it. And that's why you're able to move forward. This landed right on top of the Wheel of Fortune. You're able to move forward with your Wheel of Fortune. You're seeing your ships come in. You're seeing the sun rise. It's not stormy for you. And if it is, it's the kind of storm that we're supposed to experience, where it's just the cleansing energy. And then it's refreshing. And we get our rainbow. Right? You're living a lot of beautiful experiences. And these are experiences that your soul destined for you to experience. These are things that your soul wanted you to feel in this lifetime. These are victories that your soul wanted you to have. And it's because you have gone through the hardship with such loyalty to yourself and to your divine spirit team. You've been loyal to your higher self. And you've paid attention to the lessons that Spirit has been showing you. It ended up that you didn't have to make all the mistakes yourself because you've been watching people around you and you're like, ooh. You're like, future self, don't ever do that. And you allowed those lessons that you observed in other people to become a part of your consciousness, and you're wiser for it. See, you weren't sitting back laughing at people. You weren't sitting back creating smear campaigns to fight people who never threw their fists up at you once. You didn't do all that. So when you observed foolish people doing foolish things, you were in a very awakened state where you were taking it in as a lesson. Because you didn't mock them and scoff at them. You got a very important lesson, and to you it was free. You realized that you didn't have to go through everything yourself. You didn't have to go through all the hardship yourself. And so you've been taking notes, and you're extremely wise because of that. And the hardships that you did face, you went through it with courage. That's why you're winning. Yeah. Wow. Oh, Spirit. See, beautiful being, this is what happens when you remain loyal to your path. And I know it hasn't been easy, but I want you to know it's worth it. Because look at this. You got 3 of Pentacles. You're going to be building with the right people, or either you already are. And then you've got 6 of Cups. I'm getting soulmate energy here. Divine soulmate energy. These are people that you're going to be building with who are from your soul tribe. They are members of your soul tribe. These are divine experiences that you're going to have with the Page of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Scarabs. There's some sort of project that you've been working on. It's with your creative energy. Now, I just glanced at my Pluto poster. There could have been something that felt like it was ending within that experience. Or that could have been, oh yeah, because Pluto, the death card did come out. That somebody wanted to create an ending for something that you were working on. It was with your Wheel of Fortune. Whatever you consider to be your success, your fortune in life. That's what they wanted to bring death to. But there is no death here because you already experienced whatever endings you needed to. Now in life, we do have that, experience where certain things come to an end and new things are born. But there's something here that you already experienced an ending with, or a disappointment, but you didn't allow that to keep you down. And so you've continued to create. You've continued to meditate. Look at him there. He's in a meditative state. He doesn't even see the conflict. He doesn't even see it. And so that's why you are reaching this state of the Queen of Scarabs. You might already be there, beautiful being. But you know what this energy is? Stability, strength of mind, strength in body. This is health. That's coming through, health. Somebody may have tried to impact your health. Yeah, well-being did come through before. You're going to have the ability to rest when you need to rest. Because rest is not a luxury. It's a necessity. And whoever this was that wanted to work you to the bone, they must have forgotten that. You know what I'm saying? As I said to the bone, I saw somebody sitting back, eating ribs, telling you to go to work. I don't know where that came from, but that might be for somebody. They were sitting back, enjoying, like living the life. Might have had a beer in their hand or something like that. Eating ribs. I mean, and they're getting down with these ribs, okay? And they're telling you what to do with your time. They're telling you to get up and go to work. And then when you get back from work, finish the whole list of other duties and obligations that they assign to you. That's a no. That's a not today, not tomorrow, don't ever. Because here you are, Queen of Pentacles, stable. Stable in your well-being and your creative energy with the Page of Wands there. Okay, so with the Page of Wands, I'm getting that this is like a youthful energy where you are able to have that spontaneity, that freedom, but also that focus that you need to feel rejuvenated and to be reminded constantly of your worth. I'm glazing at it. Glazing. Okay, somebody might be glazing you. You know how the kids, I was about to say gazing, but you know how the kids say, oh, the glaze is real or something like that. Like when a person is glazing somebody, they're like putting them on a pedestal. Somebody might be doing that now because they want to get back in your energy. Somebody's trying to glaze you, aka love bomb you. Look at that. It's this person who left, who walked away. This could be the same, I wanted to say mofo with the ribs. Tell them to go eat some ribs. Or maybe they need to detox. I don't know. But yeah, because look, and the way this is, I'm seeing the Seven of Wands, Wheel of Fortune here too, where you're like, no, we're not going for another go round. And the reason why you're not having that repeated cycle with this person is because you are also protecting your Wheel of Fortune. You know you got great things coming to you. I feel like they're already coming in. But see, this person was so much more comfortable when you were, if you were ever feeling like this. You know, and we all have our times. I know I've had times where I was in that same position, or maybe sprawled out in my bed with some tissues, okay? And it's just like, they want you feeling sorry for yourself. They want you stuck, and they want you to see them as a remedy. But how would you ever see them as a remedy when they were trying to work you to the bone beyond your point of comfort? It doesn't even make sense what they want. Okay, what's coming through this set, Spirit? What does this beautiful being need to know? Yeah, you could have experienced some heartbreak with this situation. And I'm getting that the heartbreak really was with the expectations. You know, you might feel like when this person isn't around, it's not that you miss them, but you may have missed or found yourself missing the fulfillment of the expectations that you had with them. Like you wanted to have an experience or have a sense of union, okay? There's something here about telepathy. The heartbreak could have been impacted by your psychic connection with this person because you have come through as very empathically gifted and intuitively sensitive, and your gentle nature came through as well. So these are all divine gifts, okay? But there's something that you're rising from, okay? Whatever sort of heartbreak it is that you have experienced with this person, because that was made worse because of that telepathic connection, you know, your ability to telepathically connect with a being is going to pay off. It can pay off when we are connected with beautiful divine beings that love us and respect us and nurture us, okay? Think about the connection between a mother and a child. You know, like when a mother just knows that their child needs them and they're like at school, you know what I mean? Or with a divine soulmate, you are in tune with your lover and you know that they need some extra support. So you don't wait for them to ask for the support. You're there for them. And in return, they are also there for you in the same way. So this kind of telepathic connection is not a curse, okay? It just perhaps felt like that sometimes because this person didn't know how to handle that divine blessing that they received when you showed up in their life, okay? But you're rising from this connection with this person, and whatever negative impact it had on you, you're transmuting it. You are the rising phoenix, and you have risen from the ashes, and whatever ashes remain, you will continue to rise, okay? Yes, okay, this comes through. You're using your voice. You could be speaking about a time when you felt depressed, okay? Or a time when you felt ignored, all right? Or if there was a toxic addiction that you experienced, or that you had to face because of this person. Maybe they had a toxic addiction and you went through some traumatic energy with that. Yeah, this person definitely detached, like physically, okay? That is very, very clear to me that they didn't go anywhere energetically. They tried to remain with you energetically, but they wanted to pull away physically in order to create sort of a trauma bond where you would go chasing after them. But the tables have turned. Now they're wanting to chase after you, and you have put that wall up, and you're like, absolutely not. You better not, okay? And because of this, you are experiencing balance in your life, harmony within your chakras, and within your aura, and it shows. You are so beautiful, and people see that. They feel that. And once again, there's something that's happening in divine timing. It's a beautiful blessing. It's a manifestation, and it's also about you being in that Queen of Pentacles energy where you are steady and stable, and you are nurtured and safe, and you are able to nurture and protect others because you are also nurtured, okay? The energy of provider is coming through, so there could be, you know, I'm getting the vibe, this is just intuitively, I'm getting that like you are a beautiful being who loves to have something for yourself. So you might be building a business or maintaining a business, growing a business, or you might have like a job or career that you can work part-time where you are able to have things for yourself and maybe build some investments or something like that, but you're manifesting the energy of someone who sees your value, they honor your value, and they protect and care for you, okay? So that's like the best of both worlds now, okay? This manifestation that's coming in is coming in because you are maintaining your dignity. You know who you are, and look, you're on the right path. You've made the right choices because you've seen a whole lot of people around you making the wrong choices. You were like, that won't be me. Good for you. You're aligned. I told you your chakras are harmonious. It's like your chakras sound like a symphony that's perfectly harmonious, or a choir that's singing really beautifully. Oh wow, that might be a thing you want to do on the astral, is like listen to your chakras, you know, use your senses to do that, your clairaudience, because I'm telling you, what I'm hearing right now is so divine and it's so harmonious and beautiful. So yeah, just something you could do if you want to, or maybe you already do that. You've also got divine feminine. You are a beautiful manifestation of the divine feminine, okay? Yeah, see, that came through. There's something about you, your energy, where you're independent, you know. And honestly, some of us who we have seen beings who, particularly women, who have been provided for, but perhaps they regretted something about that journey because they wanted their independence. So there's this beautiful balance that can happen. You can manifest that if it's something that you desire, where you can manifest a certain level of your own independence, where you're not just like kind of coasting and letting someone do everything for you financially, or you can allow them to bless you financially as much as they please, but you are also nurturing your own financial goals, okay? And you are creating and you are growing and building for yourself, because that's not just about money. That is also about you utilizing your gifts in order to accomplish something that makes you feel good about your time spent here on this earth. Okay? You doing something, whether it's owning a business or a nonprofit or something, you know, anything that you do that just fulfills you and it keeps you sharp. It keeps you sharp. You're using your mind, you're using your brain, you're, you know. Yeah, absolutely. I'm getting that you have, or this is what you're manifesting, a very rich life, a very rich family life. And I'm not just talking about money, okay? Because wealth is about the whole self, all right? But this is about a feeling of security in your home and family, and whoever you choose to share your love with. There is security, there is stability, there is true union and divine intimacy. Intimacy. I'm talking about that Avatar type stuff. I love that movie so much. And I love how I forgot the names though. I always forget characters' names, but the wife, she calls her husband, she says, my Jake. I just think that is so sweet. I love that. And how they say, I see you. Oh my God. Because everybody wants to be seen. And I don't mean like on camera or on stage. I mean like to be seen. Like, you know that someone sees you for who you are. They see your worth. And so that is what you are either manifesting or you are preserving and protecting and growing, okay? Oh, also, I wanted to show you, Ooh, it gets better and better. See that desire, or, well, not desire, but that's what I'm feeling came out. Passion, okay? Okay. All right, passion. So you can have sweet divine love and passion. You know what I mean? And that's what you are manifesting or you are preserving. And this is this beautiful goddess energy flowing through you. And this is, look, you know what protects this? Is your boundaries from a karmic partner. Okay? And when I pull the goddess card, that can be for a god too, okay? But this energy coming through is very strong, divine feminine. So it doesn't matter what your gender is, but this is the energy that's been coming through, okay? I think we're good, beautiful being. I feel like all the blessings are just so evident. And yeah, just stay strong, keeping up those boundaries, protecting your energy from whoever is karmic and trying to get back in. Whoever left, let them stay gone, okay? Because they don't need to be coming back up in your energy for a thing. Not for a meal, not so they can be licking their fingers, eating some ribs. No, not for a thing. They need to stay where they are, okay? All right, thank you, Spirit, for these messages. I'm so grateful that you allow them to flow through me. And thank you, beautiful being. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I love you, and I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Take care.